Hi, everyone. This is Nancy O'Neill with That Man Jesus Ministry. I'm joined again by one of my very good guests, Melissa McLaren, and we are here to talk about goal setting because we're getting ready for the vision board party on Saturday. So Melissa right now is up in the air on if she's going to attend. So this is going to be like a little mock vision board party for her. And I just wanted to let you know, Melissa, in case you don't make it Saturday, I draw a lot of my information from this book. It's called Dream It, Pen It, Live
Yeah.
It.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and it's by Terry Savelle Foy. So she also talks about how to host a vision board party. So I'm going to be gleaning a lot from that. But if you wanted to, if you can't make it, this would be a good resource for you to use.
Yeah. I definitely set up.
But hopefully we'll see you there in person since this is the second show you've been on so far. So let's hop right into it. So we're talking about goals. I'll share one of mine. As you know, That Man Jesus started last year. I was probably as shocked as everybody else. This was not something that, I had even thought about doing. And in fact, I had read bits and pieces of this book over the summer, and I put together a vision board. There was nothing on there about starting my own ministry at all. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of felt led by God's Spirit and the Holy Spirit this is something that I needed to do. And I wanted to do something to give back to my mom because she gave so much of her life helping other people. And I really wanted to continue that legacy.
That's nice.
And so, yeah. And then plus I went to Bible school. Like I knew things were going to happen eventually, but I didn't think it was going to happen as rapidly as it did. And I'm still kind of playing catch up now in terms of, filing with the state for a nonprofit and things like that. So where I would love to see the organization by the end of the year is having 6 successful in-person events.
Okay.
With the women's online Bible study, I would like to have 3 or 4 guests instead of one. I'm very thankful for the one, but I do want to get other women's experiences, on one call. So we're able to reach more women and who can relate to my particular guest story. And then I would like to get regular women like on a consistent basis too. So that's kind of where I see That Man Jesus Ministry. And then I'm really proud. I don't know if you got to see my banner that's on YouTube yet. I'm working on changing the website banner too, or the logo, but I actually, I've got a business card now. So I'm really excited about that. Cool. And like one of my favorite artists is Jean-Michel Basquiat. And so I use his idea with the crown and like the crosses. So I'm super excited about this. Also, I feel like it's an avenue to reach younger women as well. So I really had fun with the business card. I hired a graphic designer from Fiverr to help me bring the design to life. And so those are 2 of the goals with the organization. I also want to make like custom mugs and t-shirts. So that would be like a spinoff business. And then I also want to be able to reach college women with the organization to like reach younger women. So those are 3 of my major goals. So with the vision board party on Saturday, I have 2 vision boards. One is for the business and then one is personal. So since we said we're going to talk about business today, I just wanted to keep it with, kind of in one vein. So I'll probably focus on the personal more so on Saturday.
Okay.
So go ahead and share some of your goals with us for the year.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going into the 6th. Well, this is the 6th year of me being full-time in my business. And one of my goals is that I'm really kind of honing in on a particular target. I have a marketing agency where I help people. I help small businesses, coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs find new customers. And so it was always an agency, and I'm converting it back more to a consultancy. And you're probably asking, like, what's different? What's different? The difference is that, I was offering a lot of services, if you needed websites, if you needed buying ads, social media, things like that. And now I'll still, help people with media and buying ads, but I'm no longer kind of websites, but what I'll do is I'll consult with people on their websites. So
That's
I'm not
good.
delivering it, but I'm going to help them. So I'm packaging it up
Right.
more into like a full service package for particular, Black women who are at this interesting stage in their business where they just need to really wrap all the right marketing tools and systems in place, and then they can just kind of grow. So that's the one thing I'm doing. So I'm changing that out, and meaning that I'm sort of shifting focus away from certain services from that perspective. And with
I
that,
like it. Because go ahead.
No, what did you say?
No, I was just going to say, like, when you say consultant, I think of expert, and we talked about being an expert the last time we did this, the online Bible study. And, one thing that Terry Savelle Foy says, because I listened to her YouTube channel as well, I'm subscribed to her, is people pay a lot of money for experts.
Yeah.
So, you might want to, you could say you're a consultant, but don't forget to throw expert in there, because they're like, oh, I'm working with an expert.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And that's it, is unique expertise, and I want to work with, really provide like curated information for my clients. So while I was really like one-to-many, had a lot of clients, now I'm just going to sort of really focus on a certain segment of clients, but offer broader, expansive services, because I'm an expert. I can do everything. So
exactly.
But I don't want you to come to me like, hey, I need social media. I'm like, no, let's look at your overall holistic marketing.
I like that.
Yeah.
And now you can help them on multiple levels other than just a la carte, like everything being a la carte. And, I know that you've assisted me before with Detroit Business Hub Group, and I'm sure I'll use your services again for that Man Jesus ministry. But, one of the things you helped me with the social media campaign, and that was great, but it was like a one-time thing. And I think you've consulted me, I believe you were on the board even at one point. And so you gave me a lot of pro bono advice and consulting, and I really appreciate that. But that was just like, you said that was your way of giving back to your community. So hopefully God rewarded you for that. But I just wanted to say that when you look at the big overview picture, it's more than just you running one campaign, and looking at a couple of numbers, because the numbers can change drastically every quarter, every month. So having that target marketing is so important. So talk about that a little bit. Why do you feel like, I know that we're both African-American women, why do you feel like that's your niche? And also, that's a great market to have right now, because there's 400,000 African-American women who have been recently, their jobs have been terminated, or they've been laid off, or furloughed, whatever, with the government. So I think that, they're going to be looking for ways to make income, and they're going to have to think outside the box. So they can't necessarily rely on their experience, education. All those things are great, but in between times, between you losing this government job and trying to find something in the private sector or somewhere else, you got to still pay the bills. So how are you going to reach these women?
Yeah, ideally, the biggest way to reach them is through, I have a YouTube channel. I want to make sure I keep talking to them and give them some good free value content that they can use and go with that. But, ideally the woman, she's those 400, thousand women, or other women who have businesses. They worked in the government, but maybe they had something on the side that was really growing. And maybe they're at that point where I need to give up this government.
They want to pivot.
And the idea that this kind of actually pushed them into it, that pushed them into that area that they were like, oh, it's too comfortable. Now I got to jump into it all the way.
Right.
And to see that growth, because they have it. They have the education, and also just because they have the drive and the desire and the willingness to do it. I have found that, especially with my clients, the more clients that the more clients that have side hustles become very difficult clients for me.
Really?
Yes.
Because of their schedule and
it's their schedule. And then it's like when your back's against the wall, you'll do whatever you do. What
Yeah,
it
yeah,
takes.
yeah. They're more eager to listen, I think, and take advice.
True, true. And
Mhm.
they're willing to do the work. If you are an entrepreneur full time, and so
Mhm.
when your back's against the wall,
You'll take advice from anybody, probably a homeless person. You're just trying to figure out how am
you,
you trying to put food on the table.
yeah,
You don't
you
care.
do. You
Yeah.
will listen, and yeah, definitely you will try to figure it out, and and you will listen and do some of those hard things that you don't like to do, because with everybody in business, there's always something in business that you don't like to do, but you got to do it because you got to wear all the hats for a minute,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
so
Are you
so like
familiar with, because they made a really good comeback, the furlough cheesecake? They are out of the Maryland.
hmm,
Fort Washington, Maryland. There are two women who, with the last government shutdown, 2018 through 19, with the housing crisis,
mhm.
they were, I believe, they were on furlough. They just quit their jobs altogether, and they started. It's right here. It's called Furlough Cheesecake. They started a cheesecake company in Maryland.
Okay.
And so that's just a testimony when I hear of people who are going through this, financial crisis, and it's all over the television, because this is a really big deal. And something else that's going on is, like, if this was any other race of people, like, there would be an uproar about this, because for the most part, we are the major breadwinners in our family. And so if you take a well-paying, college degree needed job away from an African American woman, you're like starving that family. It's not just her that's affected, it's a whole family, and a lot of us are single mothers as well. So um I just hope that you can reach. I hope some of those women are watching a podcast, or they
Yeah.
get the resources that they need so that they are able to, successfully bounce back from this.
Yeah, yeah, because you know what, you're so right. Because people should be talking about a little bit more, and they're not.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's the one thing. Yeah, I hope that with my YouTube channel, which is the other goal, is to keep growing that.
Yeah.
Is to get to those people, get to those women, and give them hope for what they can have. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, hope like right away, because it's one thing to go through furlough, or, you lose days out of the week or whatever. It's a whole nother thing to have your income cut off. Like, hopefully you can get unemployment, but that doesn't pay, that's what, 70% of your income. And that's not going to last forever. That's only going to be like 6 months,
yeah,
unless you get an extension. So, like I said, I think this is just a time where women are really going to have to think out the box. And I know for me, like, sometimes your side hustle, not me personally, but your side hustle can become your main gig. And
yeah,
you want to have, like Roland Martin talks about, you want to have that time to pivot, because he kind of knew how corporate America is, and
hmm,
he knew where he wasn't going to last forever. And in the media business, it's cutthroat. Just like, I was in sales for 11 years, that's cutthroat too. And people will literally take the shirt off of you if they can, if it's going to help them with what they're doing. Especially sales is crazy, because they'll try to steal a client from you in a second, because we're all trying to meet a quota. So I was really just ready to get out of all that field altogether. And then one day, I came in, and I felt like I was as loyal as anybody else at this company, and I like got pink slipped, and I was like, I can't believe this. Like, I felt like I was, that was my part of my brand too. And that was probably one of the hardest things that I had to go through, because we are so loyal. And I want to use patriotic, even though that's not the right term, but I think you know what I'm getting at, that
yeah,
to the companies that we work for, and to have a
yeah,
separation like that, then you kind of go through this betrayal stage. Like, I didn't do anything for this company but work my behind off. And this is like the thanks I get kicked out the door. So you going through all of these emotions, and then you have to think, like, After you have your little pity party, you have to pick yourself back up, because you have to realize the bills are still coming. You know, you got to still pay the rent, you got to pay the mortgage. So you've got to put food on the table for you and your family. So you got to figure out, where do I go now? Where do I fit? And thankfully, because I got advice from some very wise people, including a family friend who's a doctor. She always kept 2 jobs. She always figured out something else. She always had a side hustle. And I'm like, but you're a doctor. Like, you shouldn't have to do this.
Yeah.
So while I was in the insurance industry, and that's how I met Gray, I was already going back to school to get my teaching certification. But a lot of women and people in general in our community, they were not raised like that, to always have 2 things going on at one time. So, you know, I definitely did struggle financially, but I was able to come out on the other side, you know, that much stronger.
Right.
And now I feel like I'm doing with the teaching, I'm doing something that's kind of more in my vein. So, you know, my heart goes out for these 400,000 women. We are praying for you. We're lifting you up. You know, it's a tragedy, but you just have to see past this and know that you are going to get through this. And that's one reason why I wanted to have the vision board party, because we have to put something in front of our eyes, that so we're not just looking at what we can see physically. We have to see things through the eye of faith, or in the eye of the future, to know that, to, like you said, give women hope and know, hey, it's going to get better than it looks like right now. So
Yeah.
we have to give people something to hope in. And hopefully, you know, we always want to have that anchor in Christ, but we also need, you know, sometimes people just need a shoulder to cry on, and somebody to say, hey, I understand. I'm so sorry that you had this experience and you went through this and you feel betrayed by this company. And, but you will get past this. I had to go through the same thing. You're good, you know, hopefully you'll have support from your family, emotional support, if nothing else. And you'll have people, your support network that will help you get back on your feet. So I did want to just plug them, because I feel like somebody needs to say something. That's almost 500,000 people. Like, this is crazy.
It is crazy. And that's why, you know what, I'll leave you this, because I know I have to run. Like that, my, you know, the scripture I have, you know, that I always lean on, that works really with these women and with myself as well, you know, is Philippians 4:6-7, you know, be anxious for nothing, be anxious, because you know, hand wringing is not, that's not,
it doesn't solve anything.
It doesn't solve anything. And especially now, like when it happened, like you were talking about, when it happened, that was traumatic. But I'm talking, it's been like 6 months, 7 months, 10 months now. That's what made me do that video, is because you guys you're in it, and it's every month gets tougher, but be anxious for nothing. You know, things are going to change suddenly for folks, and they just have to kind of just keep taking it one day at a time.
Yeah. So you also, like, you have to have a plan, which is another reason for the vision board party. So Terry Savelle Foy, once again, I got to plug her again. She says it's good to have 10 to 15 goals, no more really than 10. You don't want to really have more than 10. And the reason is so you can hone in on those 10 specific goals to get you from where you are right now to where you want to be by the end of the year. So from there, it's just all about action. So you told me, you know, who your target audience is. Mine is not necessarily, you know, because I'm a ministry, I don't necessarily say African American women, but obviously we buy from and support people who look like us. I don't, you know, of course I want to help my own people, but you know, it's whosoever will come. So I kind of have a broader audience that I'm trying to reach. But there's nothing wrong with targeting your own.
There's nothing wrong,
because you got plenty of people who need your help, your services.
Yep. And I, you know, I believe that. And and I hope I can make it out to Saturday. I know I've got a conflict at the moment, but looking at the timing, it'll be kind of great, because you got to have a vision. And I love the idea of, you know, putting it down, writing it down, or organizing it in a tactile format. So,
well, one of the things that Terry Savelle Foy also says is to write your those 10 goals, 5 to 10 goals out 30 days in a row. So it really segments in your mind, and writing those goals down, it takes it from the subconsciousness, and it becomes, the more you write it and you keep looking at those images in front of you, the more realistic it'll come in your life.
yeah.
So, like I said, I know you got to go. I wish we could talk longer, but I'm going to stay on a little bit more just
Okay.
to continue to plug the vision board party. So I'll do stuff one-on-one, and then hopefully this won't stop if there's only one of us on the call instead of two.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm not 100% sure about that, but I will find out at the end. So
okay.
Melissa's got to run. She's got some other obligations. Thank you so much, Melissa, for stopping
Thank
by
you.
today.
Take care.
Thank you, you too. And if I don't see you Saturday, we'll catch up soon. So we'll have to go out for coffee or something.
Okay. Right. Take care.
And if I don't see you Saturday, I will see you soon. So Melissa had to take off. I'm still on, so I'm going to keep going. So going on to talking about the vision board party. She also has an entire class, and this is kind of going in and out of focus. So the name of the book is Dream It, Pen It, Live It. She has an entire online class that you can take. It's like 6 or 7 classes. And I'm not trying to plug her. I'm just letting you all know, since we talked about being an expert, that I actually have gotten some education for this. So I feel like I'm really prepared to have this event. So she also discusses hosting a one-night vision board party or one-day vision board party. So I'm just going to talk about this a little bit because this will help the guests who are attending on Saturday, and you're going to find out more of what we're talking about. So the first thing to do, step 1, invite 6 to 12 women. We've got to keep the guest list pretty small because we want you all to have room to work on your vision board. Also, you all are going to have time to work on the vision board as part of the event. This will probably be our longest event of the year. It's 3 hours instead of 2, because we wanted to give you ample time to work on your vision board. So now, even though we're providing the supplies, of like we're actually providing the actual cork board, there's still some things that you need to bring. You can also purchase a vision board kit. You're probably not going to have time for that, but you probably won't need it either. That's from terry.com. And then number 3, you're asked to bring a collection of magazines, postcards, or brochures that you don't mind sharing and cutting into pieces. So I will be bringing some magazines from my personal collection, but you're also free to bring magazines as well. Honestly, like my vision board that I did over the summer, it was just, it was only my photographs, and it was also scriptures that I had written out like on Post-it notes, and then like the number, whatever vision I was working on. So I numbered the images 1 through 10. I added the scripture and, wrote down what the vision was on the board. And that was pretty much it. So mine was kind of dry, but if you want to make yours super fancy, remember, these are goals that you're trying to set by the end of this year, 2026, and we're already almost at the end of January. So these are not goals like I want to, buy a mansion. That might take you a little bit longer than a year. So you want to set realistic goals, and you can look at SMART goals. SMART, that is an acronym. I will get into more about what that stands for on Saturday. You're also going to want to provide or bring personal photos with you. So I can't provide that for you guys unless you're like a personal friend. I might have a couple of photos of you together, or of us together, but that's not like you bringing photos from home. So bring a couple of photographs with you. Some of you guys might be like, well, I don't have time to go to Rite Aid or CVS. However, you can print off photos. I just use the black and white printer that I have here. You can do that. You can print it off in color, just on a printer that you might have at home, or you can run over to Staples and print stuff off there. Okay, additional items that you might need: glue, stickers, glitter. I don't really think you're gonna need all of that. I'm not providing stickers, but I will have a few markers there. We'll have some glue sticks that you can use. It says scrapbooking supplies. So you can make this as fancy or not fancy as you want. The cork board will come with 5 pins, push pins. So if you want to, bring some extra bells and whistles and some bling bling, feel free. I'm not really going to be doing all of that. And then the food, of course, we're having it at a restaurant for a reason. So at Tango's, the brunch is an all-you-can-eat brunch. That's why we're having it so early, from 9 to 12. The brunch is free. I'm sorry, included in your ticket price. It is not free. Somebody is paying for this. So we want you all to definitely come to enjoy yourselves, to fellowship, to network with other business-minded women. We will start out with the brunch. So we're going to come in, do an icebreaker, have prayer, go right into eating the brunch. And then we're going to clean everything up, and we are going to get ready for our vision board party. So I am super excited about Saturday. I know that a lot of you are waiting till the last minute for whatever reason to purchase your ticket. And I just want to let you guys know that seats are very limited. The room that we are renting out is rather small. And so there aren't a lot of seats available in the first place. And I already told my web designers, as soon as I sell out, we're putting a sold out sign on the website. So we're going to have a little banner that says, sorry, sold out. So we can't, please do not wait till you get to the door and say you want to buy your ticket. We cannot guarantee that you're going to have a spot. I'm sure we'll work something out where you can still sit in the restaurant, but this is actually a private room. So I'm doing the best that I can for people telling me that, they're going to pay when they get there and all that. I cannot guarantee that you're going to have a place to sit, because, it's first come, first serve. So the best thing for you all to do is plan ahead. Remember, we're talking about a vision board. A vision board is nothing but a plan. A dream means that you don't have any dates set. So a realistic vision board means that you're going to have some dates set. You're going to say, I plan to accomplish X, Y, and Z by the end of the year. We're going to be talking about how you're going to be using present tense words. You're already going to start acting it out. So, for instance, if you plan to marry this year, you say, I will be a wife by this date. Use active words. And then whatever you can, that's godly, that wives do, you're going to do those things. So you're going to serve in that manner. Act as if you are already a wife. Act as if you already had that promotion on your job. Act as if you are already healed. So we're going to talk about having a vision, making it plain so that those who read it can run with it. So you want to make sure that you have your verses ready. You have your 10 goals already written out. We will have little notepads for you to take notes in, but hopefully you guys will come ready to get this started and walk out on Saturday with at least most of your vision board done, if not all of your vision board done. Then after you get the vision board done, don't just go put it in a closet or, hang it up against the wall. You want to be looking at that vision board every day. I'm preaching to myself as well. You're looking at the vision board every single day. Remember, we're calling those things that be not as though they were. So you're looking at that vision board. You're writing down your goals every day for 30 days in a row. You're going to be speaking these goals into the existence. So you're going to be talking about these goals as if they're already happening. You're going to be talking about the goals in the present tense. And then things that you want to get rid of, such as you might have a goal to pay off a certain amount of debt this year. So you need to start speaking to those mountains, just like I said in my blog on the website at thatmanjesus.com. You need to be speaking to that debt and commanding that debt to disappear into the sea, or to Call those bills that you have, call them paid off, call them paid in full. So we are going to be declaring and decreeing some things, and we're going to believe God that they are going to come to pass this year. Some of you all have been waiting. You've had prayers go unanswered for years. And I think that this is going to be one of the things that we're going to do for those types of unanswered prayers. We're going to turn that around so those types of unanswered prayers can begin to be answered. But there is a role that you have to play. As I've said before in the podcast, God has a role to play and you have a role to play. There's a natural and a spiritual side to everything that you do. So don't just think all in the spirit. Don't be so spiritually in the clouds that, we need you here on the earth. So we don't really need space cadets. So just go around praying all the time. No, at some time you got to get off of your knees. You got to stop praying, and you have to put your hand to the plow, and you got to put the work in to get the results that you want. Well, that is all that I have for you all today. I'm so looking forward to you all joining me on Saturday, January 31st. Remember to get your tickets right away. You can go to the link on my homepage at thatmanjesus.com. There's a PayPal link at the bottom. Like I said, please do not wait to pay at the door because there's no guarantee that you are going to get in. And just like Noah's Ark, once that door is closed, it's closed. I will definitely, if we have an overflow of interest, I will offer another vision board party in February. It might not be at that same location, but I'll definitely offer that to women who might not be able to attend. But the best way to guarantee that you're going to have a ticket is to pay for your ticket and don't wait till the last minute. Well, once again, I am Nancy O'Neill and Minister Nancy. I look forward to seeing everybody who watches this call on Saturday. Everybody have a blessed night. For more information, go to my website at thatmanjesus.com. And once again, I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.